Hey, Sean, pick a card.
Okay.
Good. Now put it back in the deck. Don't tell me what it is. And is this your card?
No.
Damn, that used to work. I guess I need some new tricks.
Well, thankfully, we have 5 new tricks that you can teach your Arcane Trickster.
Welcome to the Home Brew Crew. I'm Tony, this is Sean, and today we are going over 5 really awesome spells that you can add to your Arcane Trickster.
Yeah, so if you haven't noticed, there's a bit of a theme to this one. They're all these kind of like more utility, sneaky kind of magical spells that you can do, but they're all very useful, they're all very cool, and they all are kind of themed towards that more trickster kind of role in your party.
That's right, and this first one's really neat because it actually comes from an Ask Me Anything from Sam Riegel, right?
Yeah, so a user did create this. The user is OneBarGamer. This is called Wrist Pocket. It is a cantrip, so basically you kind of flick your wrist, and an object that weighs no more than 5 pounds that you hold within your hand vanishes. So it's kind of like casting Banishment on like a little tiny thing, and you make it go away, and then you can just do the spell again to call it back.
Right, and you can't have anything else go into that little interdimensional pocket until you release the thing that you had in there. It's great for pocketing things like keys or, idols or, keys. I mean, anything, really.
Yeah, and
anything that's small that you can just kind of hand pocket.
You'll notice with all these spells, there's so much opportunity in social interaction as well. If you're trying to be a little sneaky, you make something go away in an instant. Mm-hmm. The NPCs will be very confused, and you can be very
I don't
crafty.
have your coin purse.
Yeah, what coin purse?
I don't know.
It goes away.
Just disappeared.
Yeah, so it's a really, really neat little spell. So.
Yeah, I really like it. In fact, it's pretty quick. It's a somatic only, which is really neat.
Yeah.
You have to have the use of your hands in order to cast
so
this.
if you're like gagged or something, you can't just speak it or do anything like that. So that's important to know.
That's right. Now, the next one, I know we're going kind of quick, but we like going through these, and some of these are quite long. This next one is called Assassin's Coin. Now, this one I really like. So you imbue a coin with magical charm. And at any point, someone can throw that coin up into the air, speak your name, and the coin vanishes and goes into your pocket. It's classic misdirection, basically.
Right.
But at the same time, it appears in your pocket, and at one point, when you touch that coin, who called out your name.
Yeah.
And what happened?
Yeah, so you actually get like a mental image of actually who spoke it.
Mm-hmm.
So at first even I was like, well, what's the actual point of this? But there's a couple different uses you can use this item with. You said it was a good like
let me know when you get home, right? Yeah, you know how you used to wait for Grandma to turn on the light. Same thing.
Yeah,
she made it up the stairs. We're good,
right?
But it's kind of neat because at higher levels with it, you get, say, at 5th level or higher if you use a spell slot, you can get 30 feet of what's around them going around. Mm-hmm. So it's a great way to spy on an enemy or a location.
Yeah, where like, hey, the coast is clear, whoop, and then, you kind of notify your allies. So there's actually a lot of different uses you can use the coin with. And I just like the flavor of having used the coin. Obviously, there is a material component, so it does cost you a coin. So keep
That's
that in mind.
right. Now, it only works on the same plane that you're on, but if you cast at 7th level or above, if you're lucky enough to have a 7th level spell slot, you can go to any plane
across the
and
planes.
people know. So it's really, really cool. This next one, I think this one is probably one of the bigger, awesome things that we have.
Yeah, this one's really neat.
Hammer Space.
Hammer Space. So again,
not Hammer Time. Totally different
the
thing.
space variation.
Hammer space. Right.
So this is another cantrip. It lasts for 2 rounds, so 12 seconds if you're using the general D&D ruling time. Mm-hmm. So basically, you roll a d20, and you basically pull out an item that comes from that list off the d20.
Right, and some of these items are ridiculous. I mean, honestly, here, grab me a d20 there. Any of those?
Haversack dice here.
All right, here we go. And I stick my hand behind my back, and I pull out.
Oh, beautiful!
A bouquet of flowers and a box of chocolates.
Oh,
see, these are for you, Sean.
Charisma. Yeah. Oh, I love it.
What's neat about this one is that this entire list has a lot of really gimmicky, funny things with it. It's great for impressing town people.
Yeah.
If you just go behind your back and pull out a live duck, for example. I mean, there's all these really cool things, but there are some.
How about to say? Depending on the
things.
situation, if you're stuck in your back's against the wall, maybe you pull out that magical wooden mallet that gets +1 to attack and damage rolls.
Now, it only lasts for the 2 rounds unless, and this is something we haven't seen before, it's a cantrip, but if you cast it with an actual spell slot,
right.
You lengthen that time for everything above first level.
And important note, if you actually use a spell slot, you can pick as well.
Yeah.
Neat. Yeah.
Which is really, really cool. I mean, this thing, who wouldn't want to be able to pull out a harp or a banana peel or a set of undergarments? Okay, so there's some very interesting things that you can be pulling out, but this is a really great cantrip here, and we love this one.
Definitely a neat one. Now, the next one is called the Trickster's Juggling Hand. This one has a prerequisite. You have to be able to cast the Mage Hand cantrip, for starters.
I love prerequisite cantrips. Oh, no, this is a first level spell, but I love prerequisite spells.
Yeah.
The cool thing about this one is you can actually, you get your spiritual hand there, or whatever it is, right? Your mage hand there. And you can give it up to 3 daggers or other items that have the thrown property. They're no heavier than 10 pounds.
Yeah,
because
so
that hand
no throwing
carry.
your halflings at with the spell. So
I love halfling chucking. But what you do is, as a bonus action on your turn, you can have your hand throw one of those things.
And it's really cool because for those who use the spell Spiritual Weapon, it's kind of like the same idea where you kind of have this extra little bonus attack, but it's nice because it's actually got some range on it.
Right, and these things that it's throwing are not really heavy things.
Even if you throw a dagger, it's a D4,
Daggers, ball bearings, tiny halflings.
Really tiny halflings.
Really tiny halflings. But yeah, so I think this is a really awesome thing. So, but if you cast it second level spell slot or higher, this is another one that utilizes that spell slot thing. You can add 2 additional items per spell slot after first level. Yeah, which is kind of neat. So as it goes up, you maybe have 10 ball bearings going around, and you can maintain this. It only has a maintained time of 1 minute, but for every level above, you add another. You can go up to 2 minutes.
Yes.
So there's still a lot of stuff.
Really good. So the last one we're gonna do, and this one is very simple, but there's something special about it that gives it so much value, and it's a cantrip. This one is called Maximus's Tricky Tango.
That's right.
Yeah, and no, it doesn't make your opponents dance, but it's kind of close.
So this is kind of a neat one too. So you make a melee attack with the spell. So basically, it's like using Green Flame Blade or Booming Blade. Yeah. You got to roll to hit, and then what happens is that your enemy has to do a strength check.
Yes.
Right?
So make a strength save.
It's a strength save, sorry.
And if they fail, they actually switch positions with you as long as they're large or smaller.
Oh, good. You do a little cha-cha.
Yeah,
I get it.
It's
like a little dance. Yeah. Now, what's cool about that is it can put you in a position for flanking if you're using flanking rules. You can also corner an enemy with that if you were in the corner before.
There's so many opportunities for this move. We were talking about how even in fighting games, the ability to transfer positions with another opponent is so valuable depending on the situation, and in D&D that's no difference. You can easily manipulate the battlefield by simply swapping that position with any opponent that you're dealing with, giving your allies a chance to hit them better, or putting them in a position of a trap, or something like that. It's so simple, but it's a great little spell that you can do just out of nowhere.
And every single one of these is found on DNDBeyond, so they're free for you to get as long as you have a subscription with it. And you can definitely check them out. We'll put all the links below, and of course, each of the names will be listed below as well with the authors who put these together.
Yes. And if you're really into testing out all these awesome homebrew spells, you might be able to catch some of them on the Maw. We do stream every other Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central Time, where we get to play test and try out homebrew content that we find on here, or stuff that you can send in to us.
That's right. And once again, I'd like to thank our Patreons. You'll notice a nifty new pop screen that we got here. It's helping our vocals, and thank you guys so much for,
we use every penny that we get for Home Brew Crew, and we try to spend it as wisely as we can when we're not buying dice, so... thank you again so much. We do appreciate it. If you do want to support us, you can follow the link down below as well.
That's right. And remember, the best campaigns are always the ones that are homebrewed. So until next time,
keep brewing.